So I guess we can say Happy New Year and welcome to the first Legal Line of 2020. Attorneys from the Bryant Law Center are our guests today. Austin Kennedy and Teris Swanson directly to my left, answering your questions regarding personal injury. And we have a question right off the bat, and this comes from a motorcycle rider, and we've seen this happen throughout the years. You're driving along, you don't think about it really in a car, but he says, gravel washed on the road and caused me to have a serious motorcycle accident. Can I take legal action against the homeowner?
Well, it definitely depends. If it washed there, like I'm reading the question on here, it depends. If that's nature caused that, there's a bad storm the night before, and the homeowner would have no reason to believe that the gravel washed onto the road and had nothing to do with it, and no time to correct it, then I would say you're going to have a hard time going after the homeowner's insurance. If, on the other hand, a person was saying, use a blower to blow gravel or blow rocks onto the road, say middle of the day, there are a lot of travelers on cars and motorcycles around that area, then very well the homeowner's policy could take place and provide an avenue for your damages. Also, another thing to think about is the homeowner's policy itself. Homeowners' policies are a little different than, say, a motor vehicle insurance policy. They have exclusions in there for many different things. So I'd want to look at that homeowner's policy as well. But another thing to keep out for is also like grass blowings. If you're mowing around, say, a congested highway or road traveled by a lot of motorcyclists, then grass can also cause people to get hurt that way. So I would try to avoid, at all costs, if I'm a homeowner or business owner, hiring anybody to take care of your yard and blow grass onto the road. But it's kind of a fact-sensitive question, like so many on here. So I would definitely recommend giving our office or some other office a call about that.
After seeing the gravel, I was going to extend that and talk about getting grass blown into the road, because we've seen several accidents in the last year or so where a motorcycle rider was injured, and I think there was an incident where one was killed because of grass had been blown into the road. So anyway, you beat me to that, Austin. Thank you for doing that. We have another question from Paul, who says, my son let a friend borrow his car, and that friend had a wreck that injured somebody. Can the injured persons sue the car owner?
Car owner, I would say, I might say definitely, but I would say more than likely. As far as suing the parents themselves, it depends on several different things. Whether or not their son was a minor. Just kind of a piece of advice here, if your child's a minor and you give them a car and they're insured with your policy, keep in mind that anybody who signed off on that child's license before they turn 18, so when they turn 16 or 16 and a half, get their license, or 17 now, whoever signed off on their license can be held liable potentially, in addition to whatever insurance policy that person's insured by. So if a kid, say he was under 18, let him borrow his car and that person got in a wreck and injured somebody, well, they can definitely go after that, your son's insurance company, and more than likely go after your own policy if you were the one insured on the car itself. As far as going after you personally, that kind of depends on several other factors as well. But it's one of those things too where I'd look at your own policy. You want to get into the facts of that, on like what happened as far as did the kid have permission to borrow it? It wasn't something to where he just took it without knowing or without any permission whatsoever. Or maybe you even told your son and told his friends, like, you were, don't have any permission to ever drive my vehicle without me saying so, as opposed to my son or daughter doing that. But that's another one. Again, I'd call a lawyer, because these are kind of tricky ones here. It can change on just any number of facts.
We have about a minute left in this first segment, and we have a question from Gary, who says, I was in a wreck where several people in the car got hurt. Do I have to use the same lawyer as everyone else? Teris, what do you think?
The short answer is no. You do not have to use the same lawyer as everyone else. In fact, most of the time we advise that you don't use the same lawyer as everyone else. There can become conflicts of interest. Even if at the very beginning you think, well, we're all in agreement, as the case progresses, you never know what's going to happen. And as everyone knows, when money is involved, conflicts arise. So we advise you to talk to an attorney that's different than the other people. But it's possible to use the same, but probably not.
Our time is gone for this first segment of Local 6 Legal Line here in 2020.